Welcome to this channel Global Reach. In this video, we will discuss the international current affairs for the month of February 2020. If you are new on this channel, then subscribe this channel and press the bell icon for more informative content. National emergency declared against locusts in Pakistan. There was the locust swarms attack in the province of Sindh in Pakistan. And on 31st January 2020, these locust swarms have attacked in the fields of Punjab province. So on 31st January 2020, the government of Pakistan have declared the national emergency against the locust in Pakistan. Iran missile attacks strikes US soldiers. On 18th January 2020, Iran has attacked on the military base in Iraq. And US Donald Trump reiterated that none of the US soldiers were killed or injured during this attack. But the Pentagon has released a press conference in which he declared that 64 of the US soldiers got injured on this attack, and this attack was carried on in Al-Assad base in Iraq. Britain officially left European Union. On 31st January 2020, Britain has officially left the European Union. Previously, there were total 28 members in the European Union bloc, and after the exit of Britain, there are now 27 members in the European Union bloc. Britain was the member of European Union since 1973, and after the 47 years of membership, UK has left the European Union. Women Army officers given UN medal in DR Congo. DR Congo is the Democratic Republic of Congo. Women Army officers, there were 15 member groups from the Pakistan, and the name of this group was Female Engagement Team. And this female engagement team, FET, was working in the Democratic Republic of Congo on the mission stated by the United Nations organization, and the mission was the stabilization mission in Congo. Palestinian declares to cut ties with Israel and the US. On 1st February 2020, Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas has stated that Palestine will cut all kind of ties with Israel and the US. And the reason behind this statement is the controversial and the unfair Middle East plan, which was given by the US President Donald Trump and Israel. And before this statement, the Arab League has also rejected the plan. And after the rejection of plan by the Arab Leagues, the Iranian leader Mahmoud Abbas has also stated that the Palestine will not create any kind of connections with Israel and US in the implementation of this plan. Trump has lifted limitations on anti-personnel landmines. Previously, US administration has put some limitations on working of anti-personnel landmines. But on 31st January 2020, the US President Donald Trump has lifted restrictions on the landmines, and he given the statement because he thinks that the modern technology has made the working on landmines more secure and safer. Maldives rejoined Commonwealth after more than 3 years. Maldives has left the Commonwealth because it was criticized over the human rights violation in Maldives, and it happened during the presidency of Abdullah Yameen. And Maldives left the Commonwealth in October 2016. But he again requested to join the Commonwealth, and after the research findings on the better conditions in Maldives, the Commonwealth has allowed the re-entrance of Maldives in the Commonwealth. So on 1st February 2020, Maldives have rejoined the Commonwealth, and it happened during the current president Ibrahim Mohammed Saleh, who is in presidency since 2018. Somalia states locust a national emergency. The locust swarms have also attacked the Somalian state, and on 2nd February 2020, the Minister of Agriculture of Somalia has declared the national emergency in Somalia. Saudi Arabia blocks Iran from OIC talks. On 3rd February 2020, the meeting of OIC was to be held in Jeddah. The reason behind this meeting was to discuss the Middle Eastern plan. But the Saudi Arabia refused to give visas to the Iran officials to join this meeting. OIC requests member states not to help implement Middle Eastern plan. On 3rd February 2020, the OIC meeting was held in Jeddah, and in this meeting the OIC rejects the Middle East peace plan. And OIC represents 1.5 billion Muslims all over the world, and there are total 57 member states of the OIC, and OIC has called all the member states to do not support the implementation plan of the Middle East peace plan. WHO predicts 81% increase in cancer cases from poorer nations. WHO is the World Health Organization. It is the health agency of United Nations. On 4th February 2020, the WHO has given the report in which the report suggested that there is a chances of 81% rise in cancer cases by 2040. And this 81% increase in cancer cases is from the lower and middle income countries. Tehran offers 5-nation bloc to confront regional issues. On 4th February 2020, a meeting was held in Pakistan in which the Iranian ambassador to Pakistan, Syed Muhammad Ali Husseini, has proposed the plan to create a 5-nations bloc, and the Iran, Pakistan, Turkey, Russia, and the China were supposed to be the part of this 5-nations bloc. Kashmir Solidarity Day. On 5th February 2020, Pakistan has observed the Kashmir Solidarity Day, and the reason behind this Kashmir Solidarity Day is to support the struggle of Kashmiri people and their right to self-determination under the United Nations resolution. Political victory. Trump acquitted in impeachment trial. As we all know, Trump was going through an impeachment trials. So on 5th February 2020, the US Senate has acquitted the Trump and has released him from all the impeachment trials. Amnesty International terms Saudi secret code a weapon of repression. On 6 February 2020, a UK-based Amnesty International, which observed the human rights violation all over the world, has studied the specialized criminal code in Saudi Arabia. And he has given the report, which is consisted of 53 pages. And in this report, he has studied the documents of the cases of specialized criminal code and also taken the interview of several lawyers and activists. And the report has declared the code a weapon of repression because there were a very dangerous findings in this report, which were the imprisonment and the deaths of peaceful critics, activists, journalists, clerics, and Shias. And they also said that whoever tried to raise the voice against it were also threatened to be imprisonment and death. Antarctic recorded hottest temperature. On 7th February 2020, on the Esperanza base on the northern tip of the Antarctic Peninsula, the highest temperature was recorded, which was 18.3 degrees Celsius. UN Secretary General to visit Pakistan on 15th February. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has visited the Pakistan from 16 to 20th February 2020. He came in Pakistan along with the 14 members delegation, and the main issues of development and climate were discussed during this visit, and he also raised concern about the Kashmir issue. Pakistan hosted World MOOT on Afghan refugees on 17th February. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, Filippo Grandi, has also attended this international conference. Pakistan has hosted this international conference, which was titled 40 Years of Afghan Refugees Presence in Pakistan, a New Partnership for Solidarity. And this was a 2 day conference which was held from 17th to 18th February 2020. And in this international conference, all the sports and sacrifices from the Pakistan was recognized by the international community. The US European Solar Orbiter. The US European Solar Orbiter was launched on 9th February 2020. It was a joint venture of ESA and NASA. ESA is the European Space Agency and NASA is the National Aeronautics and the Space Administration. And they have jointly launched a solar orbiter which will orbit around the Earth to study the behavior of Sun and its impact on shaping the weather conditions on Earth. ONEWEB launches first big set of satellites. A UK-based company, ONEWEB company, has launches a set of 34 satellites, and these 34 satellites were sent to orbit the Earth, and it was launched through the Soyuz rocket. And the purpose to launch this huge set of satellites is to gain the broadband internet access all over the world. UN finds 112 firms linked to Israeli settlements. In 2016, UN Human Rights Council has passed the resolutions for Israeli settlement findings. So in February 2020, UN has released a report in which he mentioned the 112 companies which have helped the plan of Israeli settlements. For example, the Airbnb, Expedia, TripAdvisor, Alstom, Booking.com, and Motorola Solutions were also in the list of 112 companies. The Palestinians have appreciated the report, but the Israelis have blamed it as a shameful act. TTP leader killed in KUNAR bomb blast. The TTP is the Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, which is the banned terrorist organization in Pakistan, whose senior leader Shahryar Mahsood was killed on 13th February 2020 in a bomb blast, and this bomb blast was occurred in Kunar province of Balochistan. Antarctica temperature outstrips 20 degrees Celsius for the first time. There was the highest temperature recorded in Antarctica, which is 20.75 degrees Celsius. Previous record was 18.3 degrees Celsius on the Antarctic Peninsula in the same month. And UN chief calls for enactment of Kashmir resolution. On 16th February 2020, the UN chief has visited the Pakistan, and in which he called upon the India to follow the resolutions of the UN Security Council, which gives the right of self-determination and plebiscite to the Kashmiris of the Indian occupied Kashmir. And the US chief has also offered to play his role as a mediator. UAE issues license for nuclear power plant. On 17th February 2020, the UAE has declared its first ever nuclear power plant operationalization, and this is the Baraka nuclear power plant, which will be operationalized by the United Arab Emirates. Ashraf Ghani re-elected second term as Afghan president. On 18th February 2020, Ashraf Ghani was re-elected as the president for the second term, and Ashraf Ghani has secured the seat by 50.64% of the votes, and his main rival was Abdullah Abdullah, who secured the votes of 39.52%. And the election commission chief was the Hawa Alam Nusristani. Kashmiri journalist earns prestigious award. On 20th February 2020, a freelance reporter, Ahmad Khan, was awarded with the Agence France Presse Web Prize. And he was given this award because of his coverage on the Indian occupied Kashmir. The circumstances and conditions in the Indian occupied Kashmir were not suitable for the journalist and activist to give reporting, but he has freelancingly reporting there and gave several videos and written reports on the ground realities of Indian occupied Kashmir. Time to end human misery in Afghanistan, says UN official. A report by the United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan has said that the miseries in the Afghanistan should be ended now. And since 2009, this mission has been reporting on the Afghan soil, and he has reported that 1 lakh civilian casualties had occurred in Afghanistan. And in 2019 alone, almost 10,000 civilians were killed and thousands of soldiers have killed in all during this period. Pakistan awarded on World NGO Day 2020. The Pakistani NGO leader Zafar Iqbal was awarded on the World NGO Day, which was occurred on 27th February 2020. The Zafar Iqbal was the founder of the World NGO, and he is also the chairman of the TNW, and he has also initiated the plan of Brotherhood for Social Good. Each year he make a conference in which he gathered almost 1,000 NGO leaders from all over the Pakistan, and he has started the movement of NGO World, due to which he was given the award on the World NGO Day. Army of 1 lakh Chinese ducks set to combat locust swarms. The Chinese researcher Liu Lizhe, a senior researcher with the Zhejiang Academy of Agriculture Sciences, has finding a report that the ducks are the biological weapons, and the ducks can eat 200 plus locusts per day. So this researcher will first make the experiment on the Chinese field, and then these 1 lakh Chinese ducks will be sent to Pakistan to find this attack of the locust swarm in Pakistan. US-TALIBAN peace deal held in Doha, Qatar. On 25 February 2020, a landmark deal between the US and Taliban were signed in Doha, Qatar. And there was a US representative Zalmay Khalilzad, who was the American-Afghan diplomat and also the US special envoy for the Afghan reconciliation. And the second representative was from the Taliban side, and he was Mullah Abdul Ghani brother. He is the co-founder of the Afghan Taliban movement in Afghanistan. They have signed a hallmark deal which will end the 19 years long war in Afghanistan. If you have learned anything from this video, then please subscribe this channel and press the bell icon for more informative videos, and leave your feedback in comment section. And also share this video with your friends and fellows. Thank you for watching this video.